Long ball number one, the first show in December, MLS semifinals for the MLS Cup played out
Yeah,
over the weekend, but
yeah,
probably the star of the MLS Cup playoffs, we learned, suffered an ACL injury. Ricky Puig assisted the winning goal to get the LA Galaxy in the MLS Cup finals, and he's
yeah.
out. What did you think of the semifinals, Jason? And where does your excitement for the final go with Puig out?
Well, okay, let's address the semis first, conference finals, as they are called. Eastern Conference final, Red Bulls did Red Bull things. That is a great free kick. Fantastic bit of service from John Tolkien to set up Reyes to win the game. You knew. I mean, we all could have put our money down if we were inclined to bet on the fact that that game was going to be decided by a single goal.
Yeah.
One goal was going to win the Eastern Conference final, and everybody knew it. It just happened to be that the Red Bulls found the goal and Orlando did not. I feel bad for Orlando. I like Oscar Pereja a lot. I think he did a lot of good things with this team. He figured out his forward combinations after the whole thing with Duncan McGuire, maybe going to England and then not, and then they signed Muriel, who turned out to be a bit of a bust. I mean, certainly not the player from a line leading perspective they thought he might be able to be. And yet everybody kind of adopted the role that Pareja figured out for them, and they got themselves into a conference final. And this was the moment, right? If you're going to make a final, you're at home, you're against a 7 seed. Why wouldn't you think you have every chance? But the Red Bulls are very, very good at defending. They're very, very good at slowing you down. They're very good with that press. They make it difficult on you. I mean, they may not be fun to watch all the time, but they are effective. So the Eastern Conference Final went to form in the fact that only one goal won it. I'm sort of thrilled about this Red Bulls run. Again, I'm not saying that they're the most exciting team to watch, but I like the fact that they're making a run as a Cinderella for a club that's never won an MLS Cup. It has become a running thing. You know, the Red Bulls they have cans but no cups over there in Jersey or whatever the joke is. It's something like that. Um, and then the Western Conference, I mean, the Galaxy were the favorites going into that game, and yet Seattle is a team that we've seen make runs in the playoffs. They also defend really well. Best defense in the league, the Seattle Sounders. I don't know if anybody was thinking too much about that going into this match. After what the Galaxy did to Minnesota, I guess, you might be forgiven if you thought they were going to explode with goals. But the Sounders made it really tough. In the first 5 minutes of that game, my wife looks at what's. She's not a soccer person. Let's just make clear that she has not read Inverting the Pyramid. Okay, she's not.
I saw
She's
that
not.
joke.
She's not up there. But she said something like, "Seattle is more aggressive with the ball. They're going to win this game." Because when Seattle got the ball, they went to goal. They were fairly direct. The Galaxy, what are they doing? They're trying to shift Seattle from left to right, sideline to find those gaps, and Seattle didn't provide them. There were no gaps. The only moment that really came together for LA was the goal when they recovered the ball in the attacking half. I think it was Mark or Mark. I don't know if we're calling him Mark or Marky now, because I think he was supposed to be Mark after being Marky forever, because maybe he grew up a little bit. And then I'm listening to the Spanish language broadcast from MLS Season Pass, and they're calling him Marky. But Marky Delgado, who came on at halftime for Marco Royce, by the way, who I also think might be carrying an injury. I'm not sure exactly how healthy he is. I saw that kind of analyzed as what a good move from Greg Vanny to put Mark Delgado on instead of Royce, because Delgado's more aggressive, pressing the ball, winning the ball higher up the field. And maybe that was the calculation, but I also think that Royce was carrying an injury. So he comes on and makes a difference, and they get the great pass from Ricky Puig. And as you said, Rob, we found out after the fact the guy was playing with an ACL tear, and now he's going to miss the final. Just crushing stuff. He's my favorite player in MLS, and it's not even close. I have a graphic here that I'm going to show you. I want to add this to our stage here. This is his FBref breakdown. Now, against compared to midfielders, and Ricky Puig, you could call him an attacking midfielder if you want to, but I think it's fair to call him a midfielder. If you watch that game, he was consistently picking the ball up 20, 25, 30 yards from his own goal. And in fact, there was a sequence where I think he dribbled 4 or 5 Seattle Sounders players to get out of pressure in his own half. Just the brazenness of Ricky Puig when he has the ball at his feet is incredible to watch. I may not love him if he's on my team. He may give me a heart attack every now and then. But look at these numbers This is over the last year compared to players in similar leagues to MLS. 99, 99, 99, 98, 99 in terms of percentile in the attacking areas of the field. His pass completion number is only 71st percentile, and the reason for that is because he takes chances. So that might look like, oh, he's only 71st percentile passing completion, but that's because he takes chances with the ball, which is what you want from a player who is as good with the ball as Ricky Puig. There is a compilation bouncing around on Blue Sky from John Mueller that shows his passing over the season. Maybe one of the best passing seasons we've ever seen in Major League Soccer. Just incredible stuff. We're talking Carlos Valderrama level passing from Ricky Puig this season in this league. And now he's gone. And I don't know. Does that make the Red Bulls the favorites, Rob? What do you think?
I wouldn't go that far because Galaxy still have a lot of really quality players. Whether those quality players link up in the same way without their talisman, Ricky Puig, we'll have to see. That's the kind of see. They have to prove it without him. And it's really a shame. It wouldn't be American soccer without a caveat. You got a grandstand, East Coast versus West Coast, like 90s rap battle here, yeah. New York versus LA, but without, the number one star. It's like no Tupac in the mix here without East Coast, West Coast battle. Yeah. And he was really having his star turn. Him showing up to that final. I don't know if you've seen the MLS coverage of him walking up.
Wait a second. I'm going to stop you. I know you were on a roll and you got something to talk. I'm just saying you went Tupac out of Death Row instead of Biggie out of Bad Boy. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm on board with
from the West Coast.
I see.
Ricky is the star of the West Coast, is he not?
That's a good point. I don't know why I didn't think of it that way. I just thought you were dissing Biggie, and now I'm upset. All right, go ahead.
Someone has to take out Forsberg for the Biggie to go.
That's right. Okay, Emil Forsberg is Biggie in this scenario. I like it a lot.
But I was gonna say, yeah, Biggie or Tupac showed up to the game in Los Angeles with his Don Johnson white sports coat, looking like an absolute star. I think you said on Blue Sky he looked like an 80s heartthrob, like looking amazing, looking like a star, like on and off the field, an absolute spark plug. And then to take that away from the marquee game is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of his image, if I had thought ahead, I would have put together a photoshopped Tiger Beat cover with Ricky Puig on it, because that's the kind of vibes he gives off. I mean, he might as well be in a Patrick Dempsey 1980s vehicle. Like, there's got to be some way we can make him the pizza boy who also is the gigolo. If you've ever seen Loverboy, it's a hell of a premise. But Ricky Puig has those vibes to me. Yeah, no, but obviously in terms of the soccer. Now, you said that slowing down the Galaxy is still going to be a challenge. It will change a lot in terms of back to front and how they build out. Because Ricky Puig was picking up the ball 30 yards from his own goal, making passes, dribbling defenders, creating spaces for the Galaxy to attack. And although the Sounders were very organized, and I expect the Red Bulls to be the same, it was certainly a benefit to the Galaxy to have him on the field. Without that, if Royce is 100% healthy, what role does he take? Diego Fagundes is an option. He came off the bench in that game in the Western Conference Final on Saturday night. So there are things here for Greg Vanney, but it's going to be a much different kind of game without Ricky Puig in it.
Yeah, it'll be tricky. They haven't had many opportunities to do it. Ricky Puig, 36 appearances across all competitions this year, so they haven't had many games without their star. We'll come back later in the show and dig into those semis and the MLS Cup final in a moment.